book. My first book, actually, this book is called Threads of Destiny, and I say it is in the hands of the Master Weaver. Why did I write this book? It's because after going through many different kind of things in my life, some very painful, traumatic, and also good things that God has done, I realized that in the journey of life, God is like God working, like the weaver works through a basket or doing something with the threads. And I realized that from down here, we see the mess of our lives, we see the failures, we see the pains, but from above, the Master sees the beauty of what He's making out of us. And through my life, I decided it is good to be able to share my story, because as somebody said, every life is a story if we care enough to listen. And so I wrote this book to just be able to bring hope to somebody who may be feeling hopeless, to bring, restoration where there is desperation, and to tell you that God gives a second chance in life, but you must be willing to take that chance. And so I welcome you to order a copy of this book. It is only 1,000 shillings and or $10 for those who are outside of the country. You can order through the number on the screen, and we'll be able to get you a copy of this book. God bless you as you read it. Give it to somebody else, and I know they will be helped. Amen.
Welcome once again to Kingdom Business Network. We're so much glad and excited to be coming to wherever you are, whether you're in your homes or in your offices, as we continue discussing matters business. And today we continue the topic that we had started last time on the digital marketing decoded. And today we want to look at the issue of growth through Meta, and Meta encompasses both Instagram and Facebook. And to help us unpack that is Lewis Ndege, who was with us last time. Welcome once again, Lewis. How has been your week?
My week has been fine. Just a lot of sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah, but we thank God regardless.
Yes.
Yeah, here farmers in my village have a good harvest.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we have everything to thank God.
Thank you, thank you. So you can introduce yourself to the viewer who is not aware of who you are.
Yes. Yeah, so once again, how are you? My name is Lewis Ndege, your digital coach all the way from Certitude Digital Training Center. And I'm glad to be back here at Business Network, Kingdom Business Network, so that we may proceed this particular conversation we began a while back about digital marketing. We are here to decode, and today we'll be handling Facebook and Instagram, or else what we call Meta. And I hope you are ready for the conversation. Thank you.
Welcome once again, and looking forward to this discussion.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Victoriana, my co-host. You can introduce yourself to the viewer.
Thank you, Dr. Mungai, and to Lewis. It's so good to have you back on the show once again. To our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in from wherever you are. Remember to continue liking. Remember to share this with your friends so that we can keep decoding the digital marketing space. And as you've heard, my name is Victoriana Alwang'a. As we continue, remember to send in your questions so that they can be answered in the second segment of the show. Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget to start sending your questions as far as the issues are concerned on digital marketing. Whatever question you have, we are here because of you. We want you to become a partner with Kingdom Business Network. We want to be of value to you, and also we want you also to subscribe to especially the YouTube channel, because that will also help us get to many more homes and offices. And with that, let's start with the Meta. Meta as the umbrella, you know. What is Meta, and what tools are available under Meta?
Thank you, Doctor, for that wonderful question. I may want to begin here that a while back, we have seen a transformation, a transformation from the onset of social media platforms, the oldest being Facebook. That is where most millennials and people who are in further generations existed. And to date, we've seen a lot of transformations moving forward, because now we are talking about Meta. Meta is the mother company that hosts Facebook now, Instagram, and also WhatsApp. So Meta, today we may call it as a suit. It is an umbrella that is allowing or hosting now the 3 social media platforms, and becoming a power pack tool for business people, especially now that it is bringing on the issue of automation. You don't have to run so many operations, so that you can be effective in all these 3 platforms. So Meta, let us just define it as an umbrella.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what tools are there, and which tools do you think people are using a lot, and the ones which they have omitted and could be of value to their businesses?
True. Allow me to highlight this, that there is no better tool than the other. The only thing is that every tool has their different purpose, just like me and you. The same way we may not have qualities or features to define who is better than the other. Just that your functionality and my functionality are different. And we are here to complement each other, because your strengths may be my weaknesses. So the same way with Meta platforms. Let's talk of Facebook and Instagram. When we talk about Facebook, some may argue that Facebook is an old version of a social media platform, or else it is for older people, which is true, and that is business to me. The fact that it is a platform for older people, that is business in itself. And also the fact that Instagram is more appealing to the newer generations, it is also business to me. So that is to mean we must now engage in a conversation on how do we leverage both platforms so that we can yield maximally. Yeah, so when we talk of Facebook, a few of its attributes, it's a community-driven platform. So Facebook may not necessarily help you in terms of brand visibility and such, which are some of the qualities that people think are the most important, and negating the fact that communities are also a power pack, or else they are also a significant aspect in terms of digital marketing as a whole solution. So when we talk of Facebook, it has its advantages, actually very many advantages. From a paid advertisement, it is actually the best engine for that, compared now to Instagram. When we talk of Instagram now, it is a visual oriented platform. There it's more of aesthetics, visually appealing content. So especially when your objective is brand visibility, you may want to leverage more on Instagram compared to Facebook. But when you now want to grow a community, when you want to talk of loyalty, organic followership, it is easier done on Facebook, because there you'll have people who you engage on a daily basis with. You can actually schedule how you'll be doing content with them, and you will have very organic followership. So we may not say which is better than the other. We may only say that we need to leverage on both platforms and utilize them maximally. Yes, sir.
So when you look at the age demographics, is there any study which has concluded Facebook is for older people? And how old are these people that you're talking about? You know, old is very relative.
Old is relative, and I may want to talk about the youth as defined by our Kenyan constitution.
Okay.
A demographic of 35 years and below. Most of those people, you'll find them, they have been born in a generation that is content or information consuming. So these are people who want, we are calling it a scroll culture. They don't want, their attention span is also very small compared to generation that they are ahead. So you realize that, and also the introduction of the social media platform. You realize like the generation we are calling Gen Zs, by the time they are coming to get phones and getting to the internet, the popular platforms may not be Facebook. They've come at a time when Instagram was very hot. It was the new baby in town. And even during that season is when other platforms like TikTok came on board. But you realize that that other generation, maybe 35 years plus, have been for a very long time socially networking on Facebook. So they find it very difficult to migrate or even adapt to the new platforms. Yes.
Okay. You talked about building strong communities on Facebook.
Yes.
Can you give us some examples on might be people who are doing that and how to go about building a strong community?
Our Facebook gives us two solutions. We have what we call a Facebook page, and we also have what we call a Facebook group. A Facebook page, I would call it your front face of your business. It's a front face for your business. So if, let's say it's KBN, we have a KBN page. That is where KBN followers will be getting updates, will be interacting with KBN, will be giving proposals and such. Now we can also talk about the group aspect. We can also have a KBN group, Facebook group. And that is the platform where now even the members have an opportunity to also share that which is in their mind. They can also market their businesses. So it's a platform where people of the same thought, or else people who are in the same field, can come under the same umbrella. For instance, I run a few pages myself. I have a page called Digital Coach Lewis Ndege. There you may not find me posting my personal life per se, or just contemporary matters. For that particular page, that's my professional page. So anything that is professional about now my digital coach aspect, because you realize I'm also a farmer. So my farming matters, I may not bring them to that page. I'll have another page for that particular purpose. I also run a group called Digital Champions Club. So every member there are people who are willing to be part of the digital conversation. So you realize that most of the people who join that particular group are people of the same thought. We share in the same school of thought. So things that we do post there, how we engage there, is directly oriented to the digital landscape, compared to other groups that are politically oriented, others are health oriented and such.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take an example of a small business, which most let's take a case of where somebody selling shoes and clothes. I think that's easy enough.
Yes.
This business can use mixed of videos, post, etc., and all that. Take us through what somebody needs to do to get started and to have an impact, especially to have an impact. Because I know a lot of people can easily just get into Facebook. You can easily post. But what does it take for that business to stand out and to attract customers?
One, let's chase a rat there. There's this myth that we may want to correct, or maybe a bad culture. We call it a copy-pasting culture, where you think that you just post on Facebook. Maybe if you've recently started using Meta, so you think you just post on Facebook, then you allow that content to, you share the same content to Instagram. We say that we have specific content for specific platforms. So business people must understand that particular concept. You must understand that some of the content that may be relevant on Facebook may not be very relevant on Instagram. One reason being, Instagram, the culture there is more of visually appealing content. It's a visual platform. So whatever is more consumable there is maybe short videos, you see. But if you want to do some of the write-ups like the ones that I do, you may not work very well on Instagram. Those ones will do very well on Facebook. So for a business that is starting fast, as we said during our previous episode, make sure you well define your objectives and your goals. If, let's just take an example like you gave one. You are selling shoes. So your objective is to sell shoes. There are two ways to it. Some people will just promote the product itself. Maybe it's a Reebok or a Air Force or whatever kind of shoe you are selling. So you may just sell the shoe as it is. Maybe you get influencers, you do skits and reels with them, then you use them to post on Instagram reels and highlights. You may also want to use a concept of value, whereby you are not just selling the shoe, you are selling the value behind it. So if the value is a factor, then you must master a concept we call the concept of storytelling, because there is no way you can sell your brand value without a very clear story behind it. So if you want to leverage on, based on the objectives that you have, if you are just a seller, maybe your concept is that yours are the cheapest. So you want where you be loudest. You just do as many reels as possible, talk, engage your audience, tell them why they need to buy your shoes, and leverage on, we usually say, start with the basic things, but don't be basic. Yeah, start with the basic things that you have, but don't be basic. So if you just have your phone, and as we said during the last episode, and a ring light, you just create your content. Do good photos of your shoes and such. If you are able to showcase how they appear, get good looking, if they are men's shoes, get good looking men, let them wear your shoe, do some photos and videos with them, then share that with your audience. We also have another trick we are using, we call it live going live. That one is mostly on TikTok and also Facebook. Only that now for TikTok it's more casual, but for Facebook is when it's maybe a very organized show you want to showcase. Yeah, so you can utilize all those solutions from good photos, especially if it's on Instagram. Instagram will be much better because what you are seeking is brand visibility. But if you want a community, you may not thrive very well as a shoe selling company, maybe a shop, just a shop on Facebook, but you may not want to do away with it. So you want to focus more on Instagram, but make sure you have not left behind Facebook, because we have an audience that is also on Facebook that never consumes anything on Instagram. So you may not want to assume them, and you realize that if it's a shoe shop, there are types of shoes that will sell to a particular type of audience, and there is another one that will resonate more with a different type of audience. Like if it's official shoes, you identify you realize that you are focusing more on corporate people and mostly elderly people. If it's sportish like shoes, you realize that the young youths may resonate more with them. So if your target is the young youths, then the easiest place to reach them is through Instagram. If your target is the corporate people and those people who are elderly, By elderly, I mean not youth. The easiest place to get them is on Facebook. Yes.
Let's move to Instagram. And I know Victoriana is the younger one. And we're supposed to be the ones on Instagram.
Yes.
So what thoughts come to your mind when you hear this conversation?
Okay. When we began, you talked about how the different platforms, each of them has its own functionality, and you've given us some of the strengths of Facebook, like being community-based and Instagram being more visual. So maybe even as we dive into the specifics of Instagram, could you maybe just add on some more of the features or its qualities that make it a platform that a business person or a brand should not ignore?
One, according to me, between our Facebook and Instagram, Instagram is the best platform for brand visibility. And that is something any business person may not want to ignore. So if, especially when you're introducing either your business or products, the easiest place to sell is on Instagram. So when you are doing whatever we call activations, maybe you've just restocked your products, the easiest place to do a short video while you are unpackaging your products, while you are trying out your products, while you are maybe showing people how to use your product, those two small reels, if you're able to get 15 to 30 seconds of them, they are easily sellable by the whatever we call algorithm on Instagram. So Instagram, it's most or else the best way to use it is when you are using it for brand visibility. It has a few elements that support that. One, we have what we call highlights. At highlights, you realize that you can have a place where it's about this kind of shoe. Another one, you talk of a different type of shoes, maybe fashion, all those different topics you may want to capture within your business. Instagram will give you an opportunity to do that. Number two is stories. People, the same way people consume so much of status on WhatsApp, they also consume a lot on Instagram stories. So leveraging on Instagram stories, because people, this is how people think, that whatever you are posting on stories is the most recent update. And you understand Kenyans and updates. We want to be ahead of any headline that is coming. We want to capture it immediately. Like, it is very wrong for a Kenyan not to know that our president apologized yesterday. You see, because Kenyans want updates. So Instagram stories give you a very wonderful platform or advantage to make sure that you keep updating your clients or your target audience on whatever things you have. Number two is what we call reels. The best thing about Instagram is that it promotes your reels even to non-followers. So even if you are a new business or you are new to Instagram and you don't have a very big following, by leveraging reels, having as many as possible, and they are spontaneous and good looking, well edited, good audio, because those are the elements that the algorithm uses to determine how far that content will be pushed. We also have what we call trending audios and the Instagram editing tools. So if you are able to leverage on them, and also what we call templates. If you are an Instagrammer, you realize that we use the templates a lot. Because sometimes you may not have an idea of how to edit your video. But with a template, you can just key in your videos, your short videos and such. And by the press of a button, you have different forms of the same video, and you get to select the one that you want to use for that particular promotion. So among them, those are the few elements we may talk of Instagram that are making it a very robust platform for digital marketing, even not forgetting its connectedness with Facebook. Now that anything that you share on Facebook, on Instagram, so you're getting double visibility even on Facebook.
Both of them,
Yes.
And so then maybe now looking at someone maybe who is transitioning from Facebook
Yes.
to Instagram,
Yes.
especially those that are listening to us that are now interested in also putting their brand out there on
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes.
So then how does this person make sure that their content is not just visually appealing, because now Instagram is more of visuals,
Yes.
but they remain content driven, they remain connecting with more people,
Yeah.
even as you talked about the community.
Yeah, it is not just about appealing. Like guys out here will tell you, it's not just about beauty. It is also beauty with content. So there is a formula we call hook value CAT formula. Hook value CAT formula. The first step of your content,
Yeah.
always make sure that it is something gaining attention or something attractive. If it's a visual without audio. So the hook part is what captures the attention of your target audience. Then the value is what sustains them. So there you can give an insight, a how-to. Maybe you address your target audience's pain points. Pain points are the problems. You see, we said you must understand your target audience.
Yeah.
So if you understand your target audience, you know what troubles them the most. That is business for you. Those are what we call pain points. So if you're addressing these people's pain points, it will be very easy for you to capture them and sustain them for your content, because besides the content being visually appealing, one, you grabbed their attention,
Yeah.
and two, now you have value, an insight, maybe how to solve 1, 2, and 3, how to remain relevant as a digital marketer, how to such kind of conversation, you see.
Yeah.
And finally is what we call a CTA, a call to action, because your work is not just to inform them or to educate them, you also want to make business out of them. So you must have a very profound CTA, the call to action. Maybe it's apply now if it's a course at Certitude Digital Training Center. Maybe it's follow if it's followers you are looking for. Maybe it's visit if you want to create traffic to your website. So the CTA is very important.
Yeah.
But you must also understand, even if you are saying that this person is transitioning from Facebook to Instagram, we have what we call links. Links and CTAs are not so much supported by Instagram. But on Facebook, that is a powerful tool. Especially if, I don't know whether you've tried this, but if you do a post on Facebook, then you attach a few links, maybe whatever we call hyperlinks that lead you to other pages.
Yeah, yeah.
When you go to share on Instagram the same content, it will not allow
Does
you.
not pick.
Yes, because Instagram doesn't allow
links.
the links. So you must be very sensitive as you are talking of transiting, because you may not want to transit, you may want to adopt,
Yeah.
because both have their own purpose and they have their own advantages. So for Instagram, we leverage on it for those particular purposes, you go a long way.
Okay.
Yes.
So then now you've addressed the attention, you've grabbed the attention.
Yes.
You've addressed the pain points and
Yes.
the call to action.
Yes.
So then how do you know
Yes.
that you are actually making something out of it? How do you measure your performance
That
on
is actually
Instagram?
the
or-
question I'm waiting for. Because something that most people overlook, which is particularly the most important thing in any social media platform, is what we call insights. It is what gives you analytics. You see, like Meta is very profound and very comprehensive. It has a whole page full of analytics from engagements, audience. Actually, Meta can tell you which kind of audience resonates more with your products. So you realize if you realize that your audience is more maybe based in Nairobi, and you want to capture some new areas. So as you do your ad, because Meta allows you to include the location where you want your ad to be promoted the more, So if mostly your customer base is in Nairobi and you want to attract Rift Valley, so you see through the insights and the analytics, you are able to make an informed decision. As I make this other advertisement, when I'm selecting the location, I may want to include these other areas where I want also to gain more clients. So the insights and the analytics under what we call the you may, if you are not using Meta Business Suite on Facebook or on Instagram, there is a place called the professional dashboard. That place is very important. There you get now those the insights, and they are very detailed. You get to see how your content performed. If it was a video content, you realize that the insights will tell you for the first 3 seconds, 90% of your viewers were watching, but on the 4th second, only 10%. So what does that tell you? You had a very good hook, but the value was not maybe accurate or clear. So it never sustained people to watch through
The full video.
the full video. So now as you build your other content, you are now more informed, and you know the place that I want to be keen on is now the value that I'm bringing on board. You see, as much as we are saying that Instagram is about aesthetics and visually appealing content, it is also important to understand that people are not robots. They resonate with the content that you're putting there. And that is where we bring the conversations of brand, tone, and voice. You see, if people appeal to you with humor, then you must sustain that. If people appeal to you through educative content, then sustain that. You see?
Yeah.
That is what we call a brand voice. So through the analytics, you'll be able to understand all those dynamics from your the content you produce to even the target, the audience, and how they consume your content. And finally, I don't know whether we'll get to this, but when we talk of the conversation of paid advertisement, analytics also comes in very handy, because you realize that, as we said during the previous episode, what paid advertisement does, it gets your content to your target audience. You see, but it cannot force them
To view the whole
to
thing.
view the content. You see, so you may find that your content has reached 20,000 people, but if the goal was to gain leads through a form, only 20 filled the form. So what does that communicate? The quality of the ad was not good.
I think let's hold it there, and we can pick up on paid advertisement.
Yes.
And how somebody can promote their page.
Yes.
And then any other things that somebody can do to make sure that there's more visibility and all that. And for the viewer, we want to take a very short break, 2 minutes actually. And after we come back, we pick up from paid advertisement and also the questions that you're going to send us. Remember, we are here because of you. And as we do this, remember to like, share, subscribe on YouTube and also Facebook. Remember to just like. See you in 2 minutes.
The world is going digital. Are you ready? At Certitude Digital Training Center, we equip young minds with real digital skills like content creation, digital marketing, graphics, web design, and many more, both in person and virtually. Whether you are a student, hustler, or a dreamer, it is your time to rise. Certitude Digital Training Center, where digital champions are made. Visit www.certitudedigital.org or call us on 011 2222 999. We are located at Wetavia, Juja, 2 kilometers opposite Mangu High School.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
Hello there, my name is Enoch. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV.
Welcome once again to this program on KBN. We are so much excited that you're still watching up to this far. And in this segment, we continue the discussion on digital marketing, focusing on Meta, Facebook, and Instagram with Lewis Ndege. And this is a section whereby you get to have your questions answered. So please, right now, take your phone and using the numbers on your screen, send that question to Lewis and he will address the question. Before we took a break, we were discussing about something about paid advertisements.
Yes.
And how you can promote your page. Might be take us through how you can do this.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Doctor. And as we talk about paid advertisement, I may want to highlight something that you may not build a community around paid advertisement. Paid advertisement is also a complementary solution. But if you want to thrive on social media platform, whichever be it, focus on building your own organic community. Then banking on the organic community, paid advertisement will come now to push you to the next step. So when we talk of paid advertisement, it is not a conversation many of us may want to leave behind, especially if you are there and you are doing business. Even if it's not business, you are maybe a brand, a personal brand yourself. Maybe you are a digital coach like myself. You can also leverage more on paid advertisement to reach a bigger audience and to achieve more goals. One good thing about Meta, it gives us a pool of selections.
Okay.
You get to select your objectives. So you may have a goal maybe to get followers. You may have a goal to get people to visit your page or like your page if it's on Facebook. You get you maybe the other goals is to get leads for your products and your services, and so many others. We also have what they call advantage audience. That one actually, it's many people are paranoid about it, but it's also very good because Meta has integrated itself a lot with AI.
Okay.
And you realize that when they give you whatever they call advantage audience, is they get to study the kind of people who resonate with your content. Mm-hmm. So whatever they call advantage audience is people similar to them,
okay,
which you may not capture manually through the selections. Mm-hmm. So if you give Meta also an opportunity to help you, it actually does, and sometimes better than you may have thought it would. Mm-hmm. So sometimes if you are doing the paid advertisement, make sure you leverage on that. Okay. There is also another aspect before we go to the exact flow of doing a paid advertisement. There is another solution they call A/B testing. A/B testing, sometimes when you want to do an ad, you may not fully know which type of ad will accrue the intended objectives the most. So A/B testing is an opportunity for you to try maybe two types of content. So you push them together. So Meta will give you a feedback and tell you this particular kind of content is getting more clicks. And actually there is what they call amount per click. Amount per click. And as a business person, this is where the conversation of return on investment comes in. So you must be very cautious about it. When you do an A/B testing, it will tell you which kind of content is better for a better return on your investment. Which one is getting more clicks with a smaller amount of spending. So that is a good solution. Most business people, because different content goes better for different businesses. So as a business, you may not want to do as I do it, but you may want to adopt your own strategies for your paid advertisement. So Meta offers two tools for paid advertisement. Most people may never see the difference, but on Facebook we have what we call ads. When you go to the homepage, Facebook, you'll see there's a tool called ads. But on Meta, they have what they call an ads manager. Those are two different tools. And where the distinction comes in is that ads offers smaller scope of selections, especially when you want to do your ad in a specific dimension. So the ads manager gives you a bigger pool to select from. So there you may select the specific kind of audience you want to reach, the amount you want to spend, maybe for a short period of time or even a lifespan, and so many other solutions there. So the very first thing before you start to do that paid advertisement, create the content that you want to promote. Ensure that you follow the formula I gave, the hook, value, CTA formula. Once you have your content at hand, maybe it's a video or it's a written content. If you've never done it before, you may want to start with an A/B test. Put the video content and the other content. Push both of them. Meta will give you which content is more appealing to your target audience. Then once you get to know the best content for your product of your business, then leverage on that. Pay for that particular ad. And if you're a business, it may seem costly, but it is not as costly as other marketing solutions. You may not compare paying for an ad on Meta with doing a billboard or paying an influencer. So if for especially for brand visibility, make sure that you have an ad always. I usually recommend that, because the more you continually do paid advertisement, even the pay per click or the amount per click reduces progressively. So by the time you are doing the ad the 20th time, you realize that the amount you are spending per click during the first ad is very different from the amount you are spending at the 20th ad. So make it a culture. If you want to thrive in digital marketing, you may not thrive so much in digital marketing, leaving behind the concept of paid advertisement. Yes, sir.
We'll take some few of the viewers' questions, and in case you haven't sent your question, please do it now. I'll start with Mark in Kimbo. Thank you, Mark, for writing to us. And the question Mark from Kimbo is asking, what are the top trends on Instagram that brands should tap into in 2025? Trends.
The trends.
Yes.
The good thing with Instagram, it tells you the trends because they keep changing each and every time. Trends are like when you go to X is the best tool to see trends. When you go to X and you click the search engine at X, whatever it brings there first, the trending stuff. The same case with Instagram. The good thing with Instagram, we have trending audios. So you realize if you are doing this particular clip, you may want to use this particular audio that is trending. We have trending templates. Leverage on the trending templates as well. So for the trends, we may not have specific trends, but utilizing whatever the engine or the platform is promoting at that particular time goes a long way. Yes.
If I may just add to that question, how can you ride on a trend?
Yes.
And how fast should you do it? Because I know what is trending fades very fast.
It fades very fast.
So what can you do?
Through a concept we call hashtags or mentions. So if today whatever is trending is this particular song by Lewis Ndege. Lewis Ndege may never be a singer, but there is a trending song. Like we had one that has put one of our artists
in trouble.
In trouble.
Okay, that one. Okay.
That one. So if you want to take advantage of that one, mention that particular song. Do a hashtag of that particular.
So the hashtag is, where do you put the hashtag?
The reason you put the hashtag is people go to search engines like Facebook mostly, TikTok, and also Instagram to see what is trending. So if I use that hashtag on my content, when you search that particular trend, my video will also appear there.
Can you also use the same on YouTube? That hashtag trending on Instagram and Facebook?
For YouTube, it's different. For YouTube, it's keywords.
It's keywords.
Because people don't go for trends mostly on YouTube.
Okay.
People go for trends, they leverage more on the quicker search engines like TikTok mostly, X, and also Facebook and Google.
Okay.
But for YouTube, the keywords are the main thing, because whenever you go to YouTube, you are going there for a specific purpose. Maybe you want to learn how to do ads on LinkedIn. So you will search that exactly. But if it is a trending thing, that is time based, you know, within no span of time it will not be relevant. You may not want to use that on YouTube, because on YouTube we also talk of longevity.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So another question from Ross. Ross is asking, hi KBN team, what types of content perform based on Instagram for engaging new audiences?
New audiences.
Yes.
That is a good question, Ross. And as we said earlier, leverage on Reels, specifically Reels. Good thing about Reels on Instagram, Instagram pushes your Reels to non-followers. So if you want to reach a new audience, leverage on Reels. And the best way to do your Reels, first follow our number one formula: hook, value, CTA. Number two, make it as short as possible. 15 to 30 seconds. That will suffice. Yes, you'll get the new audience you are looking for. Yes.
Okay. Another question is coming, and the question is, how can small businesses create impactful Instagram Reels without a big budget?
Without a big budget?
Yes.
We said start with the basics, but don't be basic. So what I mean is most people don't have even the big budgets. So use what you have. If you have a good phone, get some good content on it. There are also things we call, have a name, I fear mentioning the name, but it is carousels.
Carousel.
Carousels, yes. Those ones you don't need any budget. Just utilize Canva on your phone to create some good graphics. And Instagram will give you that platform to do that easily. So you'll be able to attain your intended objective even at a zero cost. Yeah, so before you think of the budgeted promotions, start with the zero, the ones that are spending 0 shillings to do content. Because we also talked of, before you talk of paid advertisement, consider having being effective in what we call organic communities by giving them organic content. Yes.
Okay. Freddie Ingara is saying, hi team, can you share examples of businesses that have grown significantly using Meta platforms?
Certitude Digital Training Center.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that is okay. On socials, we are Certitude Digital Center. The training is not there. That one is for registration purposes. But we have, that is what we entirely do. Good thing, the one thing I love about Meta, there's something we call CRM, the Customer Relations Manager. Those platforms are very expensive. The likes of HubSpot and such. So Meta, at Meta there is something they call leads something. So there at that particular tool, your leads, you are able to track, to even to nurture your leads.
Okay.
From prospects all the way to ready to buys. You are able to walk through them, whatever we call a sales funnel, from the time they were just leads to becoming ready to buys and to making an actual purchase just through Meta. So my friend Certitude Digital Center has been leveraging on Meta Business Suite.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. A question from Anne from Rumomba Drive. What's the best approach to handle negative feedback or comments on Meta?
Feedback grows you, either positive or negative, because once you receive negative feedback, it communicates to you, maybe to adjust. I don't know what she means by negative, because I don't think you can put just a random content and somebody decides to insult you. But it can be negative feedback.
Yeah.
Negative feedback in terms of maybe you are saying about the quality of a substance and a person has a different opinion. So that may be negative to you. But on platforms like TikTok, actually people leverage on that the most.
Okay.
Because there is what we call replying to a comment.
Okay.
Through a video. So you can, maybe you have done this video, you get a negative comment. Now to reply to that comment,
You make another video.
You make another video.
Okay.
And the algorithm pushes that video the most. So it's your opportunity, because you are the person holding the microphone at the end of the day. You now change that particular story, because when you see somebody commenting something, they may not be the only person having such a perception. So it may be now your opportunity to address that particular audience with that kind of a perception. So make your scars to your stars, to be your stars.
So let's take Facebook, for example.
Yes.
Somebody puts a comment.
Yes.
And you don't like the comment.
Yes.
What should you do?
Hide the comment. Hide the comment,
Yes.
because we have what we call reputation. Once you hide it, they will not know you hidden the comment.
Okay.
So hide the comment, but use it to adjust moving forward. Okay, you may have haters. So if it's a hater, just hide and ignore.
Okay.
But if it's something concerning, make sure you utilize that as feedback in your progression.
Okay.
Yes.
There's another question here. Are there industries or niches where Instagram ads perform significantly better than Facebook ads?
Yes. Especially when, if you want to promote a personal brand,
Yes.
Instagram is the best.
Instagram.
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram is the best for a few reasons. Most of them we have already discussed them. Instagram Reels are pushed to non-followers. So if you are new to the platform, it will be very easy for you to advance. Number two, there's what we call partnerships. That one goes to Instagram and also to Facebook. You can bank on whoever we call micro influencers. Those people are not very expensive, and if yourself is also a micro influencer like I am, so it's a mutual benefit thing. It's value for value. So partnerships goes a long way. When I'm tagging you, you are tagging me in your content, so my followers get to interact with your content and your followers get to interact with my content. So doing reels goes a long way on Instagram, especially to a new brand. So personal brands do better on whatever we call Instagram. We also have other industries like real estate, especially high end. There is a notion that if you want your product to reach a particular market, that is a premium market, use Instagram. If you want commoners,
go to Facebook.
Go to Facebook and TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. Victoriana, what's your take on all this? What are the questions in your mind?
You've talked about how Instagram pushes reels even to non-followers, which makes me think about this situation where there's usually the option of making a page private. Even on Facebook, I'm sure it's there.
Yes.
So is it necessary? And
yes,
what does this do to your business or your brand, that privacy?
Yes.
Yeah.
People go to social media for different reasons. Others document their lives. So for such people, Meta needs to give them a solution that best suits their objective. So even on TikTok, you find a person who has a private account. So if it's your personal life, maybe you just want to document your life, you may want to opt for the privatization of your content. Others, it's a community. And most of them who privatize are not very well intended, or whatever they promote is not very good. Like there was a club, I don't think I can remember the name, but it was you are joining on subscription, and it was very private. So once you have subscribed, it's when you are able now to access whatever is the content in that particular page. So privatization depends on your objective. If maybe it's your personal community that you want to nurture without the influence of the public, and you want to allow who watches your content, then that can be a solution. But if yours is just business, that option may not be for you. Yes.
Okay.
So looking at AI as we start to wind up.
Yes.
What impact has it had, and how is Meta leveraging on AI?
Yes.
To assist and to change the game, as it were?
Actually, it's a conversation we have had so many times, just that we haven't mentioned the word AI. But whatever we call algorithm, it's basically AI.
Okay.
Because it's what Meta uses to enhance mostly paid advertisement. Because you realize that how can the engine or the platform be in a position to know that these are the people you are looking for? It is only by an artificial intelligence factor. So whatever we usually call algorithm is AI. Meta also does what we call automation. Like you can do this particular message, or your client has texted you on Messenger and you are not available to respond. You can automate through Meta. If the message contains these keywords, respond in this dimension. So AI, and it's also evolving in a very fast rate.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. So thank you very much for being in this show today. There's a lot of things to digest as far as digital Meta and all that is concerned. And let's have some parting shots. Victoriana, how's your parting shots?
Yeah, thank you so much, Lewis, for those insights. It was a pleasure having you on the show today. And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your questions. I'm sure you've learned a lot today. And I think for me, what stands out is what has been said about the hook, the value, and the CTA. So remember to leverage on that so that you can continue to grow your businesses and your personal brands. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep it locked on KBN.
CTA is call to action.
Yes.
That's good. I like that.
Thank you, sir.
So, Lewis, you can introduce yourself, your college again, and what you do to the viewer, and how they can contact you, because I know there's somebody out there who might be saying, I want to get in touch with a digital coach.
Yes.
Yep.
So Lewis Ndege is my name, and Digital Coach is my brand, and I work at Certitude Digital Training Center. And more to it, I partner with organizations across Kenya and Africa to do what we call digital literacy campaigns. We are the digital champions, and getting to or else in touch with me is very easy, because on my socials I go by the name Lewis Ndege on all my socials. And if you want to reach me via phone, my phone number is 011-3828-423, 011-3828-423. And maybe, Doctor, as we wind up, there is a conversation about monetization. Just as a highlight, I'm actually paid by Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
I earn from every content that I put up there. Okay. So that may be a conversation for
I wanted
later
to ask
days.
you a question. How do you monetize Facebook and Instagram?
I am actually paid, so we can do that conversation.
We can do that
later.
conversation. So now the viewer, you can actually get paid for what you put up on Facebook and Instagram. I only knew about YouTube, because that's what everybody talks about.
Yes.
But that's good to know. Thank you very much, viewer, for tuning to the station, Faith Today Television, up to this far. Thank you very much. Remember to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube page, and also like the content on Facebook, and that will take us to many more people like you. We want to create one big Kingdom Business Network, whereby you can be having this conversation in person and also online. And that will actually build some big wealth of knowledge and interaction and a pool of talent. I look forward for a day whereby I can come to you and you're selling shoes, I can buy from you. Somebody else is selling products, you can buy from him, all in a Kingdom Business Network space. We've been discussing digital marketing, focusing on Meta today with Lewis Ndege. Until next time, God bless you very much. See you.
The world is going digital. Are you ready? At Certitude Digital Training Center, we equip young minds with real digital skills like content creation, digital marketing, graphics, web design, and many more, both in person and virtually. Whether you are a student, hustler, or a dreamer, it is your time to rise. Certitude Digital Training Center, where digital champions are made. Visit www.certitudedigital.org or call us on 011-2222-999. We are located at Wetavia, Juja, 2 kilometers opposite Mangu High School.